Hi, in this video, I'd like to look at how we can use the compound interest formula to find the value of I. The formula takes on the format A is equal to P multiplied by the bracket 1 plus I to a power of n. I helps us find the rate of interest. P is our principal amount, A is our accumulated amount, and n is the duration of the investment. To make this easier for us, let's make I the subject of the formula. And the first thing we can do is to move this P. So let's divide both sides by P. So we say A over P is equal to P multiplied by the bracket 1 plus I to an exponent of n all over P. Now on the left, we have A over P. On the right, the p's will now cancel out, and we're left with 1 plus I to an exponent of n. The next thing we need to do is to move this exponent of n. When working with exponents, we found that if we root the term by the same value as the exponent, the root and the exponent cancel each other out. As an example, if we have 2 squared under a square root, the root and the exponent cancel, and we're left with 2. If we have 4 to the power of 7 under root 7, the root and the exponent cancel, and we're left with 4. So let's do this now. Let's say root n on this side and root n on that side. Now on the left, we have A over P under root n. On the right, the root and the n will cancel out, and we're left with 1 plus I. Finally, let's move this 1 across, and we have A over P under root n minus 1 is equal to I. And now we've made I the subject of the formula. Let's put I on the left-hand side. Now we can clear this up and put our formula at the top of the page. To find I, we start by dividing A by P. Then we root the value by n, and finally we subtract 1. Please remember that you will never be asked to find the value of I. These questions will ask you to find the actual interest rate, and to do this, you multiply I by 100. Let's look at some examples. Brian puts $5,000 in a fixed deposit for 4 years. At the end of his investment, he receives $7,800. Calculate the interest rate offered by the bank. We are looking for the interest rate, so we need to solve for I. Let's find our A, P, and N values. Brian puts $5,000 into an account. This is his original investment. We can say that P is equal to 5,000. He invests for 4 years. This is our duration. So N is equal to 4. At the end of his investment, he has $7,800. It is our accumulated amount. So A is equal to 7,800. Now that we have these values, we can put them into the formula. We have A, 7,800 over P, 5,000, under a root, n is 4, minus 1. Now we can divide 7,800 by 5,000, and we get 1,56 root 4 minus 1. If you take 1,56, put into your calculator, root 4, subtract 1, we get an answer of 0,11758, and so on. This is our I value. but we don't want a value for I. We want an interest rate. So we need to multiply this by 100. And we can say 0,11758 multiplied by 100. And we get an answer of 11,76%. When working with an interest rate, please always round off to 2 decimal places. Let's do another example. Alex deposited $72,200 into an investment account. After 3 years, he accumulated $85,100. What was the compound interest rate offered by the bank? The question is asking us to find the interest rate, so we need to solve for I. Let's find our A, P, and N values. Alex deposited $72,200 into an investment account. That's the principal amount. So you can say P is equal to $72,200. He invested for 3 years. That's the duration. So N is equal to 3. At the end of his investment, he accumulated $85,100. This is our A value. So A is equal to 85,100. Now we have these values. We can put them into the formula. So we say I is equal to the value of A, 85,100 over 72,200. N is 3, so we can say root 3 minus 1. 85,100 divided by 72,200 gives us 1,1786 and so on. Put this under root 3 and subtract 1. Now we can put this into our calculators and we get 0,056324 and so on. This is our I value. But remember, we don't want an I value. We want an interest rate. So we have to multiply this value by 100. So we can say 0,056324 multiplied by 100. And we get 5,63%. Remember to always round your answers to 2 decimal places. Let's do one more example. An investment of $2,500 doubles in 5 years. Calculate the interest rate compounded annually. And again, we just solve for I. So let's find our A, P, and N values. $2,500 is invested. This is our principal amount. So P is equal to 2,500. The amount doubles after 5 years. So to find our accumulated amount, we say 2 multiplied by 2,500, and we get 5,000. This is the amount after the investment. So we can say A is equal to 5,000. The investment runs for 5 years, so N is equal to 5. Now that we have these values, we can put them into the formula. So we say I is equal to A, 5,000, over P, 2,500. N is 5, so we say root 5 minus 1. 5,000 divided by 2,500 gives us 2. Then we have root 5 minus 1. Now in our calculators, we can put in 2 root 5 minus 1, and we get 0,14869 and so on. This is our I value. And now finally, we can find our interest rate. So we say 0,14869 multiplied by 100, we get an answer of 14,87% rounded off to 2 decimal places.